Welcome back to another week of the Rams Roundup for the Fordham men's soccer team. I'm here with Coach Jim McElderry. Coach, last Saturday you faced off against Dayton on senior night and held them to only one goal. Dayton is the top scoring offense in the entire country. What does that tell you about your defense?
You know, it really was a total team effort. I do think Dayton are a legitimate NCAA tournament team this year. They've got a lot of individual players, but they also play very well as a team. So I was really proud of some of our guys that stepped in that maybe haven't played as many minutes throughout the year. A guy like Greg McNamara came in and played a full 110 minutes and really stepped up and played against some top players and held his own and more than that. And I thought we did well to score an early goal. We defended maybe a little bit more than we wanted to, but overall the point we knew would get us in the conference playoffs with a game in hand, so it was a good day for us.
And talking about the depth, you had your backup goaltender in. You had 3 of your 4 starting defenders out. What does that tell you about the depth going into the A10 tournament?
Yeah, it was really impressive. A lot of our guys coming in, and I know we have guys that can play, but when they haven't played consistently throughout the year, it's just a challenge for them to get to the speed of play and dealing with top-level players. So, whether it was a Kyle Losi or Chenzo or Pat Thies coming in along with Greg, I mean, there was just so many guys that stepped up on the day that made the results possible for us.
And this game, it was basically a complete opposite. A week before that, you lost to George Mason 5-1, and then on Saturday, you only let up 1 goal to Dayton. What does that tell you about the resiliency of your team?
Yeah, I thought George Mason played a little bit more with some more desperation than we had on the day, and that was it. You don't really play from the kickoff as well as you need to. You'll get punished in our conference. There's enough individual good players, and they outplayed us on the day. But our guys also learned from that. So coming out, scoring a goal 7 minutes into the game, a real different mentality to the group playing against Dayton, and that made a huge difference.
And then going into this weekend's game against UMass, you guys have already clinched your playoff spot, and UMass is still trying to gain it. How can you go into that game thinking that they might be going all out for it, and what is your team's mentality for that?
Yeah, they 100% will. I would expect nothing less. They're a good team at home. They've won a bunch of their conference games at home, so I expect it to be very difficult. They have a new coach. Coach O'Leary's done a really good job of getting their guys buying into working really hard and being ultra competitive, especially at home. But our mentality will be to try to go and win the game. We always want to finish as high as we possibly can in the conference. You have no idea who you're going to play no matter where you finish. But not only do we owe it to the other teams in our league and to just the conference in general, but we're always going to go and try to win the game. So we'll go in, we'll be as competitive as we possibly can with the goal of coming out with 3 points, trying to finish as high as we possibly can and be prepared for the tournament.
And you just mentioned how high you can possibly finish. You can be anywhere from the 2 to the 7th seed. How important is seeding in the A10 tournament? We saw last year you were the 6th seed and you won the A10 championship.
I don't think it's that important. I think it's just really trying to finish the season on a good note in that we've had a good game against Dayton. We want to have another good game against UMass, and we head into the conference championships playing well. I think that's the most important. You always want to win the league. We won the league in 2011, and that was really a great season for our guys. Even though we didn't win the championship, the tournament championship, it still was a great accomplishment. So you always want to try to win the league, but right now, the way our playoffs are set up, there's not a big difference on where you finish. There's no home field. There's no bye. But we always want to finish as high as we possibly can. But more importantly, go into that tournament feeling good.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Up next, I'll have 5th-year senior Andres Penfold. And I'm here with 5th-year senior Andres Penfold. Andres, last weekend you faced off against Dayton, who's the top offense in the country, and you guys tied them 1-1 in double OT. What does that tell you about your defense?
I think it speaks to the resilience of our team. We faced a lot of adversity this season, and kind of the last game is a good culmination of what our season's been like. We had 3 of our 4 defenders injured, and we were able to plug guys in, play, and come back as a team and get a positive result that puts us in A10 playoffs.
And as you just mentioned, A10 playoffs, you have clinched a spot, but you still don't know where you're going to be. You could be between the 2nd and 7th seed. You're going up to face UMass on Saturday, who's still fighting for a spot. How important will that decision be?
For us, we take it one game at a time. So right now we're focusing on UMass. We're not really looking past it. But I think having a team that succeeded last year in the A10s kind of gives us the confidence to go in there and play. Last year we were 6th seed and we were able to beat the 3 seed, the 2 seed, and the 1 seed. So it's just a matter of getting down there. And once you're down there, anything can happen.
And you guys have been extremely successful on the road in the A10. How important will that be for playing down at George Mason?
I think it'll be very important, particularly being that last year we had a game at George Mason, and we're returning a lot of guys that made that trip. So our success on the road kind of speaks to the professionalism of our approach and how we've been preparing for our games. So it's definitely something to feel good about, and is going down there, a place where we've played last year, where we've had success, and just kind of go down there and give it our all.
Okay, thank you, Andres.
All right. Thank you very much.
That'll do it for this edition of the Rams Roundup for the Florida men's soccer team. The men's soccer team travels up to face off against UMass at noon on Saturday, and the game will be streamed live on the A10 digital network. For WFUV Sports, I'm Leighton Schneider. See you next week.